Hi guys, welcome back to Yaya's Craft House. Today we're going to be making some miniature food items out of clay. I have a bag of clay I got from Hobby Lobby when it was on sale, so I just picked out the ones that looked the most like Halloween and the ones I knew we would need for today. I'm going to start with this orange colored clay. We're going to be making some miniature pumpkins. I wanted it to look like the dolls were carving pumpkins with the pumpkin guts and the seeds kind of hanging out. This clay was really hard, so I took just a little of the Vaseline and mixed in with it, and it really softened it up. Once it was softened, I rolled it out into a flat sheet. And then I took some of this yellow and I ended up mixing some white and some of the orange in it to get the right color for the insides of the pumpkin. I reshaped my orange clay into kind of a rectangle, and then I rolled the yellow inside color, and then I wrapped the orange up around it to kind of create like a tube. And then I was able to cut it into pieces to mold the pumpkins. I do think if I was going to make these again, I wouldn't even bother with the yellow inside at this point because you don't really see it, and you could always kind of, once you make the hole in the top of your pumpkin, you could then put some orange down in there. Once I had the pumpkin shape, I used a little knife to make the grooves in the pumpkin. And then I used some of this dark brown to make the top of the pumpkin. Apparently my camera cut out and I didn't realize. I will show you later on in the video how I cut the top off of the pumpkin and made the hole. Once I did that, I started with this yellow clay, and it was very soft, and I was able to kind of pull it apart, and then I just placed the stringy bits on the side of the pumpkin like they were kind of hanging out. For the little pumpkin seeds, I took some white clay and I rolled it into little balls, and then I flattened it between my fingers, and then I just stuck them on for the seeds. I also created some of the pumpkin guts and seeds all mixed in together so that I could put it in a bag and look like they had already picked that part of the pumpkin out. Now I'm making a second pumpkin, and this is how I cut off the top of the pumpkin. I just used a little X-Acto knife and cut all around the stem, and then I kind of sliced it off. And then I came back with a pencil and used it to push down into the middle and kind of open up the pumpkin. Next up, I wanted to make some candy corn. I rolled out some real thin strips of the yellow, the orange, and white, and I placed them next to each other, and I kind of pressed on them to kind of fuse them together. And then I used a knife. I would alternate going back and forth with my knife as I cut. Next, I wanted to make a pumpkin-shaped pizza. I'm not very happy with how my pizza turned out. Even my 7-year-old niece said it wasn't very good. But I think if I did take some paint, I could make it better. I started with this light brown clay. I made a circle out of the clay, and then I just kind of pinched the top to make like a little stem. Then I took this red clay and brown clay and mixed them together for the sauce. And then this is where things kind of took a turn for the worse. I initially thought I was going to kind of cut the clay, so I ended up using the yellow clay and then just placed it on top of the pizza. I took some more of the clay that I had mixed for the sauce and formed it into little balls and then flattened them between my fingers and placed them on for the pepperoni. I wanted to make some little caramel apples. I rolled out 2 balls from the red clay, and then I took this wooden dowel rod and cut it down to size for the stick for the apples. And I did not bake it with the sticks in there. I took some white clay and mixed it with the brown to make this caramel color, and then I just formed it around the apple. I did want a little bit of the apple to show at the top, so I didn't bring it all the way up. Next up, I wanted to make some little sugar cookies. I took this tan clay and rolled it out into a circle. I used this little Barbie cup to press and then kind of twist into the clay to cut the little circles for the cookies. And then I did the same thing with this yellow clay for the icing. And then I found if I used this tool, it was pretty easy to get the clay up off of the mat. I placed the yellow circle on top of the tan circle and just kind of lightly tapped them together. Next, I took some white clay and I tore off a real little piece and kind of shaped it into a ghost shape, and then press them on top of the cookie. Once I was done with all the cookie, I took a black marker and made the eyes and the mouth of the little ghosts. These are some little caramel candies. I took some brown clay mixed with white to get this caramel color and rolled it out into a square, and then I took some white and formed a tube out of it the same length as the caramel colored clay, and I placed it on top and then rolled the caramel clay around it. And then I kind of rolled it out a little bit more. And then I just cut them into little pieces, and I think they make the perfect little caramel candy. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up below and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you back here soon.